Hey, what's up everyone? Doomsky here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna be ranking all the DC movies. Yes, going back to rankings. So I'm considering myself a big Batman fan, so I saw all the Batman movies. I saw most of the Superman movies, and then I saw probably another 80% of other DC movies. Um, Mostly the early ones I haven't seen, but we get to it once gonna creating the list. Obviously, let me know in the comments what you thinking about those movies, where they should be. Maybe I made some mistakes, and yeah, let's just crack on. Okay, the first movie is Batman, the movie. So this is from the original series of Batman and movie. This is with Adam West. Um, Now I'm not gonna lie to it. I never seen it, so I'm just gonna put it in not watched. There's no point of me sugarcoating. Now, Superman the movie. So this is the first movie of Superman I saw, and I can't remember exactly when I saw. I never seen it when it came out first. I probably seen it in the 90s when I was a kid, as far as I remember. I'll give it a C because I don't remember the movie that well, but obviously with Christopher Reeves, that was probably most people, when they think Superman, they think about Christopher Reeves first. Um, so that is okay. Let's give it a B because this was the first proper Superman movie. So let's put it at B. But like I said, I don't remember the movie that well, so I can't give it any higher. Probably maybe deserves A or even S tier. I don't know. Superman 2. I have not seen that movie. This is the thing about those early Superman movies. I've seen the first one, and then I even didn't even know that there is more. The Thing, Swamp Thing. Um, I'll give it a C. I've seen that movie once when I was a kid, but I really don't remember it. Actually, let's put it to not watch. I don't remember the movie. It's hard for me to classify something I have not. At the moment, I haven't watched many of them. The same thing with is the Superman 3. Again, I haven't watched that, or I don't remember watching it. Supergirl. To be honest, I never knew there was a Supergirl movie. Wow. Okay. Another Superman 4. Again, I haven't watched it, and another Swamp Thing. Now, I watched one of those Swamp Thing movies, but I can't remember which one, and I don't really remember it. So there's no point of me rating it something I absolutely don't remember now. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, Batman. The first Batman. The first Batman goes straight into A tier. So for me, when I first saw that movie, that was an absolutely one of the best movies I've seen at that time. It has everything. Obviously, Jack Nicholson as a Joker, he was perfect. Was perfect until a bit later on. I mean, it was always perfect, but I mean, like, it was only made better by one actor, which we're gonna get to slightly later in. Right. So that goes into A tier. Now, Batman Returns. Now, for me, that's again, put on C, another A tier movie. I prefer Batman Return to the original Batman. It has more characters. Obviously, it doesn't have a Joker anymore. It has a Catwoman. It has a Penguin. Personally, I think this is better one. This is the last one with Michael Keaton. Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Michelle Pfeiffer. Really good movie, and I do prefer it to the original Batman. Might be controversial. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Which one is better? Which Keaton movie is better? I think slightly The Batman Returns is a bit more polished. To know, I think it's slightly better. Batman Forever. Now, when I watched this movie, can't remember what year it was. 94, 95 it came out. It was after The Mask, so or maybe even later on. Jim Carrey was huge. Jim Carrey at that point was huge. Obviously, Tommy Lee Jones, Val Kilmer as Batman. You have Nicole Kidman there as well. You have Robin as well. So that's, you have stellar cast, really, really. And remember, these are 90s. These actors were on absolute top. Jim Carrey was, after The Mask and after the Pet Detective, he was massive, and so was Tommy Lee Jones, and obviously Nicole Kidman she already had few movies behind her belt. For me, that was a really, really good movie. I enjoyed that. I know if you watch that now, it will be quite cheesy. Some of the Jim Carrey, obviously how he portrayed Riddler, but I really like that. I enjoyed that movie. So I'll give it a B. Now, Batman and Robin. So again, we're going in. I'll give it a C. We have Arnold Schwarzenegger. We have George Clooney. We have Uma Thurman. But I didn't like that movie. I think that was going way too cheesy. Even then, even when that movie came out, it didn't come out that much later than Batman Forever. But that was already when I, as a kid, started to noticing that this movie is just not for me. That it's more for even smaller kids. If that makes sense. I would have been already a teenager. Actually, I don't know why I'm saying a kid. I would be already a teenager, and I didn't like that movie. I'll give it a C, maybe even a D. Yeah, let's give it a D. So much so, I went and watched Batman Return, and Batman Forever many times. I think Batman and Robin I only watched like once or twice. Well, once I watched it when it came out, and then second time I watched it because it was already on TV, and I just happened to watching it. But other than that, I didn't like it. Right, another movie. I don't recognize this movie. Does anyone recognize this movie? Still, I don't. So I'm not gonna rank it at all. Catwoman with Halle Berry. Ooh, I only watched that movie once, but I remember it being terrible. But not trash, just not great. But I'll give it a D. Constantine. Ooh, okay, here we're talking. Give it an A. I keep going back to that movie. I keep rewatching that movie. I keep rewatching scenes from that movie. So giving an A, I think it's justified. I could be even put that on S tier. I would love if they could have done Constantine 2. Obviously, they never done it. But Keanu Reeves was absolutely excellent. Really like the story. It's a shame they only did 1 or 2 seasons of the series without Keanu Reeves, obviously, but Constantine was a great character. Okay. Batman Begins. Okay, so I'll be quite controversial here, and I'll put it at B. The first one in Christopher Nolan trilogy, I did not enjoy it as much. I enjoyed it okay, same kind of like Batman Forever, and obviously this was different Batman. It was much darker Batman, but I already knew Batman at that time. I didn't need retelling of the story of how everything started. So for me, that was a B. Oh, for me, it was quite boring as well. I don't know why. I never rating this movie high enough. Right. Superman Returns. I don't think I remember that movie, so I'm gonna put it on not watch because I don't remember it. I don't remember watching it. Never mind. Right. Batman Dark Knight. C tier. Nah, I'm joking. S tier, obviously. There's nothing bad I can think about this movie. I don't know. I don't know. This movie is perfect. For me, this is a perfect movie. One of the best movies ever made. Maybe the best Joker. Maybe. Heath Ledger as a Joker, I think was perfect. So that's why I'm putting it on S tier. And yeah, I keep going back to that movie again and I keep rewatching it and it's still perfect. And I have this movie in every format possible just so I can watch it. Watchmen, very interesting movie. I watched it recently again and I must say I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna put it on A. It's kind of a movie that if you haven't watched, well, it might have slipped underneath the radar because it's not as big a franchise as obviously Batman or Superman and others, but it's a very good movie. The Roach is absolutely fucking perfect. Yeah, A tier. Right. Jonah Hex. Where I should put this movie? C. I've seen it. Actually, I've seen it. I know it exists. I don't remember almost anything of it, and I remember like some flashbacks that, but not enough to rate it any higher than D. So I don't think it was any good either. Green Lantern. Ooh. E or D? I think E, because I remember that movie and I remember how bad it was. And even obviously Ryan Reynolds jokes about this movie till this day, how shit it was. So I think E is the best can get. Batman The Dark Knight Rises. A. Now, I don't think it's a steer. It's not as good as Dark Knight. It's not. It's better than Batman Begins, personally. So I think A tier is great. Obviously, the fight with Bane is a great movie. Very long, so you might get bored at some point. There's quite a lot of things that's happening during the movie, and when you think it's gonna almost end, it still goes. So that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that if this movie maybe been a little bit shorter, more packed, could have been better. But A, nonetheless, still one of my favorite movies. I mean, it's there among the greatest. Okay, Superman. All right, so this movie I actually watched, obviously. More modern movies, and I'll give it an A. I like that movie. We really hope that Henry Cavill will take mantle of Superman and will produce many more Superman movies than we did get. But I really enjoy the movie. I can't really say anything bad about it. It was perfect introduction to Man of Steel if you haven't watched it before. Yeah, great actor. Good movie. Yeah. Batman versus Superman. Ooh. So again, we got a different actor as Batman, Ben Affleck, and he joins Henry Cavill. I would put it at B. I don't think it was as good as Man of Steel, and definitely wasn't as good as other Batman movies. Batman vs Superman was okay. It's a good movie. B is still good, but there was something missing from it. I think B is good. Suicide Squad. Oh, D. Ah, the first Suicide Squad. I just the one with Will Smith. I just didn't like that movie. I know the pacing was wrong. The scenario wasn't that great. I can't even remember who was the villain. I remember the movie. I remember that Jared Leto played in it, but other than that, I just didn't like the movie. Wonder Woman. Okay, this will be controversial. It goes into S tier. For me, the first Wonder Woman movie was a perfect, of so close to perfection, like 99% of perfection of superhero movie. It's kind of like the first Iron Man. I just can't fault that movie. The first Wonder Woman movie was really good. I had lots of fun. Obviously, in some way, I don't want to use the wrong word, not like far-fetched, because obviously it is a superhero movie. But they wanted to show how great Wonder Woman was. Some of the action elements were a little bit like even as a superhero shouldn't do those things so easily. But I enjoyed it. I just had lots of fun, and I keep rewatching that movie. Maybe it's a profanity putting it next to The Dark Knight. Maybe A tier would be better for it. But I think this is Wonder Woman 1 was better movie than these. I'm sorry, that's what I think. Sue me. Okay, the Justice League. I would give that B. Or maybe a C. Yeah, it was the first C movie, I think. It's somewhere in the middle of everything. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good, it was okay. You had great actors in great roles. Obviously we have lots of superheroes, what we actually wanted as fans, to put them all together. I don't know, the movie was okay. What it lacked was, okay, some acting wasn't that great. But I don't know, and obviously the CGI, if you remember CGI, that was quite bad. But I think the C tier is okay for it. I think it's somewhere in the middle of everything. It's not as bad as these 4 or 5 movies, but it's also not as good as the other ones. C. The first Aquaman. For introduction to Aquaman. I'll give it a C as well. Again, a movie where it just didn't click. It was okay to watch, but it's not a movie I would rewatch again, or I would choose to rewatch again if I have opportunity. I would rather choose any of those B or A tiers or S tiers movies to watch than Aquaman. So that's why I'm putting it there. Shazam. Oh, okay. That's gonna be another C tier. Another movie. The story, I get that it was introduction to Shazam, and I think it was supposed to be for younger audience. It wasn't obviously as dark as Batman or even as dark as the new Superman, but it was just okay, somewhere in between, kind of like Aquaman. It was somewhere in between. It wasn't very characteristic. Like, I can remember sort of the story, but it was nothing great. Right. Joker. Joker goes to obviously an S tier. One of my favorite movies. I don't even know how many times I watched it. Maybe at least 10, something like that. I go watch it a lot. I watched it twice in 3 times in cinema. Yeah, 3 times in cinema. So you can tell how much I like that movie. Obviously, very, very dark version of Joker. Um, is it better than Heath Ledger? It's different. And obviously, here is the beginning of the Joker. So I don't know. That's why I put it on S tier. It's in the same league for me. A different movie, obviously, but for in the same league. Right, Birds of Prey. Uh, hmm. Hmm. I watched that movie, and not that obviously not that long ago when it came out. And as far as I remember, I thought it was absolutely shit. So I'm putting in E. It was a movie that I watched, I forgot almost instantly. I would not be able to tell you anything about the story. And I know I said that about other movies I watched and I don't remember the story, that's why I'm putting them in not watched. But these movies, not watched, I either actually not watched or I completely don't remember watching them. Birds of Prey, I remember watching and I remember being shit. So it lands in E tier. Wonder Woman 84. Oh, it's not as bad as Green Lantern and Birds of Prey. I will put it in D. Something happened. Like, how come the first one is S tier, the next one is D tier? It just didn't click. It just didn't click. The bad guys didn't click. The main villain it just didn't. I don't think it was just, yeah, didn't like it. Okay, so we only got 4 movies left. Where are they gonna end up? Okay, Justice League. So this is Zack Snyder's Justice League. If you remember it correctly, this is basically a slightly different version to the original Justice League. Different pacing, a bit different screen ratio. I remember. The scenes, some of them are longer, some of them are shorter. Generally, this is a better movie. This is how the Justice League should be from the very start. So I just put it on the B tier. Right, the Suicide Squad. So this is a reboot of the Suicide Squad that we had previously. Different actors, except of Margot Robbie. Obviously, she's back. I enjoyed that movie enough to put it on C tier. It was much better than the first one. Maybe the beginning of it, when they land on the beach and, spoiler alert, almost all of them dying, was perfect. I thought that was gonna be a crazy good movie. Then the pacing was a little bit meh. Maybe I'll put it on B. I actually enjoyed that Suicide Squad more than the other C tier movies. Yeah, let's put it on B. Okay, Batman. Ooh, okay, so this is again new Batman. Kind of a new villain. Well, there's a different actor playing the same villain because we have the Penguin there, which not called the Penguin at that time yet. And I really enjoyed that Batman. Really, really good. It's very dark, much darker even than the Dark Knight or the Dark Knight Rises. Maybe even darker than the Joker. And I like dark. This is the first. It's based on the first years of Batman. And it's really good. I really enjoyed that. Again, I was twice in cinema to watch that movie. I watched it multiple times on Blu-ray, and I really enjoy it. Obviously, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. And the last one, but not least, Black Adam with The Rock. So this movie, I liked. I actually is ashamed. I don't think they're gonna do any more of it, at least for now. But I liked it. I think the B, yeah, I liked it as much as the Suicide Squad and the other movies. So a B, I think it's a good ranking. So this is it. Here we got our S tier movies: The Dark Knight, Wonder Woman, Joker, and the new Batman. A tier: Batman Returns, Batman, Constantine, Watchmen, The Dark Knight Rises, and The Superman. And the rest obviously B, C, A, D, and E. And there's a bunch of not watched movies. Well, alright, obviously let me know down in the comments what you thought about it and what movies you consider S tier from the DC universe, this franchise universe. I will see you in the next video very soon. Bye bye, thank you.